Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andre Coy. I'm the Associate Dean for External Engagement in the Faculty of Science and Technology. And I'd like to welcome you to this Boost information session. Taking the time out, and I'm hoping that at the end of this, that you will have learned about the Boost program, that you'll be excited about the Boost program, and that you will decide to apply for one of the fellowships under this interesting, innovative, and very useful program. So Boost stands for Building Out Our STEM Teachers. Now, this is an initiative that was started by the UE, Faculty of Science and Technology, in collaboration with the Faculty of Humanities and Education, and is funded by the National Baking Company Foundation. So let me just put this in context for you. What is our motivation for starting the Boost program? So there is a need for additional STEM teachers within our education system. We have teachers who are dedicated to the task, teachers who are up to the task, but we don't have enough of them. We find that every year we're losing more teachers. We find that there's a need for us to improve not just on the quantity of STEM teachers, but we need to improve the quality of STEM teachers. Because even though we have lots of STEM teachers who are very good at what they do, we also have some who are not as good at what they do. And so we need to boost both the quality and the quantity of the STEM teachers. We have an approach that we try to train teachers for life. The government has put in an initiative where they're offering scholarships for you to study education. And then at the end of your degree, you would go in to the classroom and you would stay there forever. But we find that that doesn't always work. A lot of people don't see high school teaching as being a viable long-term career option. Many people don't take up the option, and those who take them up are not necessarily the best science students. And many people take it up for a while and they leave. And so the investment doesn't necessarily meet the long-term need, because you may only get a few people taking up the option. Many of those who do take up the option don't remain in education for a long time. So we're still left with the shortage of good science teachers. So what is our proposal? How do we solve this problem? Our solution is Boost. Now, I'm going to tell you about the Boost program and how that is going to help to solve the problem that we have with STEM teacher shortage. Our objectives under the Boost program are twofold. First, we want to enhance STEM education in Jamaica by providing a continuous stream of quality science and mathematics teachers through this innovative, incentivized, inverted scholarship program. And I'll explain why it's an inverted scholarship program. The second objective is for us to encourage students to see giving back a viable option at the beginning of their career. Many of us don't know how to give back. Many of us have the desire to do it, but don't see a way how to. I would like to suggest to you today that the Boost program will provide you with a mechanism for giving back at the very beginning of your career. Now, I'm going to share the details of the scholarship. So it's a scholarship that can be taken up for up to 3 years. Each year that you are eligible to take up the scholarship, there is a scholarship payment of $300,000. That's enough to cover 1 year's tuition. And we're offering the scholarship to each of the students who are accepted under the Boost program, each of you who qualifies to become a Boost Fellow. An inverted scholarship, because unlike other scholarships where the funding is given at the beginning of your degree and it will take you through, this scholarship is given at the end of your degree, So only students who are in their final semester of study will qualify for this scholarship. That's why we're referring to it as an inverted scholarship. The scholarship is available to students who are studying any one of the following degrees: a BSc in science or math, a BSc with science or math with an education major, BSc with science and math or with an education minor, or B.Ed in education with a science or math major. So anyone who's studying any of these degrees is eligible to apply. It's a STEM teacher scholarship. So we're looking for the 10 best applicants from our cohort, from those who will apply, and we'll be placing them in high schools where there's a need for STEM teachers. We're looking at non-traditional high schools in the main because that is where the greatest need arises. And this is an opportunity to go out and to get a job straight out of university, teaching your specialist subject. So whatever you would have studied as your specialist area, you will be placed in a school to teach that as your specialist subject. And this will come immediately after you've completed your degree. It's a scholarship that gives back. So the idea is you go in, you're offered a job in a school, you teach for a year, and then you will receive your scholarship payment of $300,000. This is on top of all the payment that you would have been getting from regular employment. So the ministry will give you a salary, and this scholarship will be on top of what you're paid by the ministry. It's a scholarship that gives back. If the student or the Boost Fellow has a student loan, then this $300,000 is applied to your loan balance. So you can see that if you took student loan for 3 years, if you stay in the Boost program for 3 years, then your student loan will be paid off in full, and not a cent would have come from your salary in order to make that payment. The Student Loan Bureau has partnered with us to offer a preferential rate to our students. You receive the 6% at the start of the program, and after a year of payment, after a year of working in the Boost program, then that interest rate will reduce to 4%. So then you'll be paying back less than you would have paid if you were not a part of the Boost program. It's a scholarship that incentivizes excellence. So in addition to the $300,000 scholarship payment that you will get as long as you're a part of the Boost program, there is an incentive amount that is paid if you have been seen by the school principal as being somebody who is excellent, somebody who goes above and beyond just completing their duties, but is integrated within the school, who has a good relationship with co-workers and with students, and who is working with the students in such a way as to motivate them to do more than just complete the syllabus. That fellow will receive an additional $500,000 payment, $500,000, just for doing your job very well. So this is an excellent incentive where you can see the total monetary award for the Boost program for a single year, on top of all your salary, will be $800,000. The $300,000 is guaranteed. The $500,000 is paid to you if you're deemed to have been above and beyond the regular. Sure. Scholarship is one that gives you a head start. So you can teach for a year under the Boost program. You can renew that for up to 3 years. And so over a 3-year period, you'd have paid off your student loan. You're now in a position to move on into whatever other forms of employment you want to take, or if you want to stay in the classroom, you can stay there, but you would be moving on with no debt from student loan. So it gives you a head start in your careers. It's a scholarship with perks. So we know that many of you from the science faculty would not have studied education. And so you might not feel as if you're qualified to go into the classroom. And so we ensure that we give you a head start in that regard as well. We provide science teacher training over the summer period prior to you going into employment. After you've done that training and you're better prepared to go into schools, you'll also be paired with a mentor from the Jamaica Teaching Council who will guide you and be that person you can turn to when you're having significant challenges that you may not feel comfortable sharing with your co-workers, or they may not be able to assist you. You can get the guidance and support. So we don't leave you without any support and without any guidance through the process, because we understand that it will be a new process for you. And we try our very best just to be a buttress and to stand behind you to give you the guidance that you need. But you'll also have networking opportunities. You'll have opportunities to engage with business leaders who are part of the Boost program, with other partners in the private sector and in the public sector who have partnered with us and are interested in seeing our Boost fellows move ahead. So there are additional perks in addition to the feel-good nature of giving back. In addition to the cash incentives, you're also getting networking opportunities and opportunities to grow as individuals. And finally, it's a scholarship that keeps on giving. So we're funded for the next 6 years, and each year we have a cohort of students that will go out. Initially, we're looking at 10. This first cohort that went out last September saw 15 students graduating from the Boost program, so to speak. And so this year we're looking for another cohort, and this is where you come in. We're hoping to excite you so that you will think about the Boost program, that you put in your application. And guess what? There is nothing to lose by putting in an application. And there is everything to gain, because if you're successful, you'll be a part of this elite fellowship program, and you will benefit from all the things that are provided under the program. So I'm going to speak for much longer. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask your questions, to share your thoughts, and to get the information that you may need to help you to make the decision and to determine how best you should go about making your application. So I'll share the information slide another time. You can take a screenshot. You can get more information about the program there, and you can contact us in the Faculty of Science and Technology through our various contact points, through email, through socials, and we will provide you with information. Just put the heading, subject heading Boost or Boost information, and we will get back to you with the relevant information, trying to answer your questions as best we can. So now I will stop the presentation and I will turn over to you if you have any questions. I will do my very best to answer those questions for you. Don't be shy. Go ahead, open your mics and ask. Raise your hands and ask your questions. Go ahead, Vanya.
Hi, sir. It's Vanya. Can you hear me?
Apologies.
One of my first questions would be, if we have already worked out for ourselves to go on the work and travel program for summer, you usually go from May and come back closer to the end of August. Is this still an opportunity that we could take up? Because we would be there for the start of school in September.
Right. We have had students who have gone on the last year's cohort. We had a student or two that was on the work and study program. The workshop for the teacher training was held virtually, and as a result, the students were able to attend. What you would have to do is to commit to attending all the sessions. So there are 2 training sessions, one provided by the School of Education in partnership with the Micro University College. And there's a second one that is put on by the Jamaica Teaching Council. If you were successful and you were abroad, you would have to commit to attending these sessions. I know it's not always possible, and that's that we have, is that you have to sit the sessions, especially if you are a student who have not studied education. The information that you're going to be getting during these sessions is going to be critical for you going into school in September to face students. Sounds as if we will be face to face again. Therefore, you would need this particular training. So I would not say no, I would say apply. Once you can commit to attending the sessions virtually, then it should not be a problem.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
There's a note in the chat regarding that. The sessions run from 9 to 3, typically, and they are for, they go for 4 weeks. So you would have to be able to commit to those hours. So you can put that into your planning and see if it is, in fact, something that you can accommodate. I saw 2 other hands. There was Owen. So let me go through the questions in the chat. I saw Shakira. Please forgive me if I mispronounce any of your names. When is the application period? So the application period begins today, and the information is available to you on the website. Forms are available. If you send an email to us, we'll also be able to send you links to where the information is. And it closes on April, I'm trying to remember the exact date. I think it is the first week of April. I'll double check that and let you know, but it opens today. So you have a lot of time to get that done. I don't see Shakira's second question. Glendon, there are 2 training sessions, one with the School of Education, the other one with the Jamaica Teaching Council. The session with the School of Education is a 4-week session. So 4 weeks of workshops, and the one with the Jamaica Teaching Council is a week. Jada, with regard to placement in schools, is it done randomly, or can we suggest schools within our local communities that are in need of STEM teachers? So if you have a school with which you have a relationship and you're aware of a vacancy, and you interview with them and qualify, once they meet the criteria set out within the boost program, that they be a non-traditional high school. Those are the first schools that we go for. In a stretch, we go for a traditional high school, but this is only this would have to be an exception. If you have that relationship with the school has a vacancy, and you are interviewed by the school and you qualify, they accept you, then yes, you can be placed in that school. I think I would have answered Jenna and Vania's questions about the sessions being daily. The sessions with the School of Education are daily, as well as those for the Jamaica Teaching Council. Is there any way that engineering students can apply? At present, we do not have a facility for engineering students to apply. It's for students from the Faculty of Science and Technology and for the School of, from the Faculty of Humanities and Education. But we are open to having a discussion with our colleagues in engineering to see how best we can facilitate that. But currently, there is no facility for engineering students to apply. I've gone through the deadlines. Okay, I understand, Shakira. And thank you, Ms. David, for your support in the chat. Can first-year students apply? The answer is no. This is for students who are in their final semester. So we're looking at finalizing students, students who would be able to graduate this year, this academic year, and to go into the classroom in September. Vania?
Yes, sir. Another question I had was, so is it that we have to apply to a vacancy at a school, or that was only if there's a particular school we see with a need that we'd want to go to?
Right. So the way it works is once you are selected as an NBC fellow, then we make all the arrangements to place you. That means we find where the vacancies are, and we contact the schools, pass on to them your contact details. They get in, you do an interview, and if you're successful in the interview, then you would work at that school.
So let's say, for example, a student is not successful in the interview. Are they somehow disqualified, or are they given another chance to apply at another school?
They're not disqualified in any way, and we find other opportunities for them to apply as it takes to get into a school.
Okay, another question is, since we would be young and we're just starting out, is it that we would be placed within schools in our area? For example, a student who lives, as in somebody who lives in, let's say, Golden Spring, you wouldn't place them at a school all the way in St. Mary, or place them at a school out in St. Anne. You try to see if they could be placed at a school in Kingston or at a stretch, St. Catherine.
The idea is that we cannot guarantee that the placements, that the schools that have the vacancies will be in your areas. Every effort is made so to do, but there is no guarantee. And so if there is a vacancy, we will say to you, there are vacancies here and there, and it may involve relocation. We have relocated, we have seen students under the previous cohort having to relocate, and that was successfully managed.
Is assistance given to them for that?
Pardon?
Is assistance given to them for that?
The program does not currently have any component to provide assistance. Some schools will have accommodations on campus, very few, but some of them do. But there's no assistance with the actual moving. Now, some students will see this as an adventure. Some students are independent minded and are willing to move out of their comfort zone. Some are not, and we completely understand that. That does not disqualify you from applying, but we want to ensure that we do not give you the impression that you will be given a school that is next door to you. That cannot be guaranteed as much as you. Okay, Vinny, I see you've closed your mic. I take it you've had an answer to your question. I see Glendian Witter. Go ahead.
Hi, sir. Just to ask, what are like the requirements of the students? How do you guys go about choosing the 10 candidates that you get each year?
So the application forms have specific questions on them that you will answer, and that will also compare. We'll also be looking, pardon me, at your transcript, and you will be asked to provide 2 references. I could give a tip here. The references are very important because they speak to how others view you and your capacity and your potential to be an NBC fellow. And it would be in your best interest if you were able to find people who know you well and can give a strong reference. The reference on its own will not disqualify you. A poor reference on its own will not disqualify you. However, an excellent reference gives you a boost. No pun intended.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. I see a question from Shamoya. Afternoon, Shamoya. As a student teacher, will it be required of us to conduct lab exercises or SBAs besides teaching, or is it that we'll be working along with a senior teacher? You will be working independently in the main. The schools do provide some peer support, but you will be in charge of your classes. And so all the activities that are required, if the school does not do group work for SBAs, if they don't do group lab exercises, you will be in charge of that. Yes, you'll be a proper teacher. Shakira asks, if an individual is successful, will there be a specific grade that this person is required to teach, for example, CAPE or CXC? This is entirely dependent on the schools. The schools will determine where the needs are and where the teachers are placed. So that much is out of our hands. We have teachers who are teaching at both the CAPE and CSEC level. We have teachers who are teaching third form. So it is dependent on what the school requires. And this information can be had during the interview session. You discuss it with them and find out what exactly they're looking for in a teacher. And you'll be able to know where you would be placed, what grade you'll be in charge of. Any other questions? I'm sure you have other questions, don't be shy. All right, Jane.
Good afternoon, sir. I had just wanted to ask, considering that you said the classes that would be conducted in the summer are from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it is every day for the week. I don't remember who had mentioned it before, but persons who would be on the work and study program and persons who may have internships in the summer that would somewhat restrict the time that they have available to attend these sessions. Is it possible that something could be worked out in the case that this is the issue for the person? So for instance, if they have an internship that they are not necessarily available from 9 to 3, would something be worked out for them, or would they just have to, I don't know, get the information from someone else in the program or something? I just wanted to see what the possibilities for that are.
Right. Thank you for the question. So we try to be flexible. We understand that there are competing demands, and we make every effort to be flexible. But it is really important that as many, in the first instance, it's ideal for you to attend all the sessions. If it's the case that you cannot attend all the sessions, within reason. Right? So it's not that you're going to go to one session or two and think and suspect that that is sufficient. But accommodations are made for people who have to miss some sessions, and we, as much as it's possible, try to accommodate that. Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Gallimore, for responding again. There will be an interview selection process. So you have an opportunity to represent yourself in person, quote unquote. It may be a virtual interview, but you'll have an opportunity to present yourself and to show why we should look beyond what is on paper, right? Why we should select you, what makes you an ideal candidate for the NBC Boost Fellowship Program. Any other questions? Have all the information we need in order to make the application. The application period closes on April 1. I didn't have the exact date last when it was first asked. So it opens today and closes on April 1. Jada is asking an important question. I'll come to you in a second, Vania. In terms of salary, would we be considered as untrained teachers and be paid within that range by the Ministry of Education? You'd be considered to be pre-trained graduates, and there's a specific scale for that, and you would be paid on the pre-trained graduate scale. Vania, go ahead.
Yes, sir. As regards applying, you had said that there was a link you would send in the chat or would contact the faculty in order to apply.
Right, so I had shown the Boost information, the webpage. I post it in the chat. And maybe Ms. Davy can help me by posting the faculty's contact details as well. So the website is posted. You can go there for information, or you can send an email to the faculty or contact us through social media. Thank you, Ms. Davy. There is during the summer program, while you're doing your 4 weeks training, there is a stipend that is given to you. So there's a $50,000 stipend for the training period. So it's not what you would get if you were being paid to do a job if you had a full-time job or a part-time job in the summer. But we recognize that it would be useful for you to have some kind of monetary incentive. And so we provide a stipend of $50,000 once you've completed the training. Thank you for that reminder, Ms. Collins. Still open for questions.
Dr. Coy?
Yes, please.
Yes, I mean, I see in the chat that we're told, students have been told it's 4 weeks. The training is a 4-week training program. I don't know why I thought it was for 3 weeks.
Thank you, Dr. Gallimore. So in 2021, it was shortened to 3 weeks, but the aim is to have it for a 4-week period.
Oh, okay, okay. So it was 3 weeks last time around. Okay. Are you able to actually indicate what this exact stipend was so the students have an idea of what they're working with for that?
Oh, apologies. I thought I did mention it is $50,000
For the 4-week period.
period.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? What is the age limit? We don't have an age limit. Once you're graduating in the current academic year, then you qualify to apply. I mean, if you're a super genius and you're graduating at 18, then maybe not. But otherwise, we don't have an upper age limit. It's a great opportunity. Students, I know some students have it all worked out. I know I didn't, and I didn't know necessarily where I was going to work or exactly what I was going to do right out of university. So it's a good opportunity for you to think about joining the program, because it gives you that first job straight out of school, an opportunity to engage with students on a different level, an opportunity for personal development, an opportunity to have a head start, a boost in your career where you'd be free of student loans. And so whatever you earn would go directly into your pockets. So I would encourage you to make the application. That's an excellent position to be in, Shamoya. Lots of opportunities. You can't go wrong with that. What is the GPA requirement? So the minimum GPA requirement is 2.5, and I'll put an asterisk beside that. We do consider applications with lower GPAs, but of course the rest of the application has to be strong. The other characteristics of the individual, of their leadership. So evidence of leadership, evidence of potential for teaching, evidence of prior teaching experience, the strength of the references, all of those things are considered. The strength of the interview, everything is put together and taken into consideration. So the GPA is one of the important requirements, but it is not a singular disqualifier. So I would say still, if you feel that you have a strong application, but your GPA is not exactly 2.5 or higher, still go ahead and apply. You lose nothing by applying. If you don't apply, then you don't have an opportunity. And a very old ad, I might be showing my age now, used to say, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. So please consider applying. Gayan is asking about whether or not a full CV is required. With your CXC passes, not necessarily. So you would be asked to submit your transcript or a CV. You don't necessarily need to have your CXC passes included if you submit a CV. So we're interested in what you've accomplished academically after high school, as far as the academic requirement is concerned. I missed Sanik's question about a diploma. If you have a diploma in secondary education, can you still apply? Most certainly, as long as you're graduating from the UE this academic year, your diploma in secondary education is going to be a boost to you. And it may even, no, well, it will certainly be a boost to you as you go into the classroom. And it will be taken into account when you apply and when we're considering the applications. So most certainly, Sunny, that's a benefit. Any other questions? So we have fellows all over the island, St. Mary, St. James, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew. I think we have one fellow in Westmoreland, or it might be Hanover, but all over the country. Wherever there's a vacancy, then we certainly will attempt to place our fellows there. I don't see any other hands or any other questions. I notice that the dean is here. I don't know if he wants to say a few words. Prof, if you don't want to, you can indicate, that's fine. Or any of our other colleagues from the Faculty of Science and Technology. D. Jemison, I see a question. In the event that we have already started to repay the SLB, will we be credited any leftover funds from the scholarship? Great question, and the answer is yes. So the scholarship amount goes to pay whatever you owe to the Students' Loan Bureau. If in fact you owe less than the amount of the scholarship, the rest of it will go to you. It's a good question, thank you. From Shakira, for clarification, the summer training program is for the 10 selected students, or is that a case where everyone who applied for the scholarship is trained, and from those sessions, the qualified individuals are selected? So the training session is for the students who have been selected through the application and interview process. It's also the case, though, that if students who were shortlisted and interviewed are interested in doing the training, as long as there's capacity, then they are also accommodated if they want to attend the sessions. The stipend would not apply. They would not be able to receive the stipend, but once there's capacity in the sessions, the training sessions, then they can attend. But the selection is done prior to the 4-week training in the summer, and those who are selected are trained. No problem. Devania, I see your mic is open. Would you like to ask a question? Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I think we've covered all the things that we need to cover. I'll give the opportunity for any last questions or comments. Brittany, your mic is open. Do you want to ask a question? Okay. All right. So I take it that you understand. That's fine, Brittany. You understand what we are hoping to achieve. You understand what the opportunity is for you, and you understand how you can go about taking advantage or seeking to take advantage of the opportunity. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to see an application from each of you here today. If you have colleagues who did not make it, then please inform them about what you've learned. Tell them where they can get information. We've shared the link in the chat. I'll share it again. The link to the Boost website, and you can contact the Faculty of Science and Technology directly. Sunny is asking when the applications will be open. The applications are open as of today, and they will close on April 1. So you can start your application today. I will ask that the recording be placed on the faculty's website, and you can send, and if you don't see it or you don't know where to access it, send an email to the faculty office. The link was shared earlier, and they'll point you to where the information is located. We'll also send out information through your various groups, through the guild, student associations, pointing to where the recording is so that you can get access to the information. The application form can be downloaded from the website, or once you contact the faculty office, they can send it to you by email. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming in. Once again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to going through your applications. Take care.